Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl. How are you today? Hope everyone is ready for the holidays. I'm not. I'm as ready as I can be. Still going through the same old stuff. It is what it is. But anyway, this is an episode of It Happened One Night. It Happened One Night is a part of my YouTube Street Guide series. And it's basically like a summary, a roundup, a little chit chat about things that are going on these YouTube streets. And normally I would do a whole, um, slideshow and this, that, and the other thing. For It Happened One Night, I normally do not use clips because I'm not in the mood to get hit with any kind of copyright strike. Some of the people that are discussed on It Happened One Night do not take criticism well and have very uh, unfriendly and bad spirits, and they get upset when people criticize them. So they turn around and throw um, copyright strikes just for the hell of it, even if you haven't violated any copyright restrictions by YouTube. But anyway, so I don't use clips. I either do a slideshow or I do what I'm doing now, just giving commentary. I will direct you to the channels that have discussed who I'm talking about today. As always, I will give them a shout out, and you can go to these channels and see for yourself the foolishness that is happening on these YouTube streets. Of course, this is for entertainment, yada, 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 all that good stuff. Anyhow, this past few weeks on these YouTube streets, and I've had time to check quite a few of them out because, I'm still recovering, and that update, sorry, that was my brother. He's going to anyway, he's just getting up. So these past few weeks, there have been quite a few things going on these YouTube streets. So first, I want to return to a topic that I've talked about before regarding who I call Jeckle and Heckle. For those of you of a certain age, you know who I'm talking about. Jeckle and Heckle was a cartoon. Go ahead and Google it. AKA Fresh&Fit. Now, Fresh&Fit have been demonetized on YouTube. They still have videos up, but they have been demonetized because of their foolishness from a few months ago when they were going around referring to someone's wife as a monkey and putting a white sheet over his head and trying to do a particular salute that is no way, no how, no shape or form a good thing to do. So they were demonetized a few months later. Now they have moved on to a platform called Rumble, and that is where they are getting money from. They have actually moved their studio. From what I've heard, they have moved their studio to a new location and built a new studio. So the other day, they did a episode regarding a young lady who is in OnlyFans. She has an OnlyFans account. Her name is Ruby Rose. And apparently this young lady had someone who was pretty much stalking her and sending money as a subscriber. However, as they were sending money as a subscriber, they were also sending private messages and I guess text messages or private messages asking her to marry him, asking for a response, talking about how much they love this person. And the smart thing, this young lady did two smart things. A, she never responded to any of them. She kept all the messages, but did not respond, which is good. B, she put the guy on blast. She went to the app formerly known as Twitter and posted this guy's messages, posted his profile picture, and said, hey, basically she was trying to warn other women who are on OnlyFans, watch out for this guy. Something's not right with him. So one of the messages that she posted, the gentleman responded in all caps. Well, she never responded to him, but he sent her a message in all caps. And I'm paraphrasing. Basically, he said, "You're not responding to me. You're not answering me. How come you don't answer me?" And very angry. Um, it's obvious something was wrong with this gentleman. So she posted that as well. Another young lady who was also on OnlyFans came up and said, "Hey, this guy's been sending me money too. And he's been sending me messages too. I'm glad you said, I'm glad you put him out there because, yeah, something is definitely wrong with this guy." Okay. So, here comes Jeckle, also known as Myron. Myron is the young man, and I say young because he's technically younger than me, so I'm going to call him the young man, who did that rant a few months ago, put the sheet on his head and all that foolishness. Yeah, well, he's back. He came back and again, I am paraphrasing. He came back and said it was her fault for putting this gentleman on blast, that she should have, she was only doing it because she wanted more attention, and it was her fault that he was getting upset, that she should have responded to him, and I mean, all kinds of foolishness. Now, I'm referring you guys to Duke the Don. Go to his channel. He has the full reaction to it. He also has, he also shows the video of with all the details. So please go to his channel. Go to his channel. I'm going to tag his channel in the description so you guys can go and see exactly what I'm talking about. But again, Jeckle goes on this tirade, talks about how her exposing this guy for the what's a nice way of saying he's crazy? Exposing his crazy was her way of making him look bad, and she should not have done that because it makes him look bad, and therefore is making all men look bad, and she has no business making men look bad because that's how she's making her money. Yeah, that's what he said. I am paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. And of course, the infamous line of the evening was, I still can't believe he said that. He said, "Men, if she won't commit, you must, how do you say it now? Basically, if she's not going to commit, you need to get out." There was another way that he said it, but his curse words, and I'm trying not to cuss. But yes, he's at it again. Another rant, which will probably go down in YouTube street history. And you must go to Duke the Don to see the whole thing, because even Duke the Don was speechless at one point. Nobody thought that Jeckle would top his tirade from a few months ago that got them demonetized. I didn't see that coming. Nobody thought he was going to do that again. Another classic rant. And he did it again. Another classic rant. Now, it's Rumble, so probably nothing's going to happen. They're still going to keep doing what they're doing. But the boy crazy. He's crazy. And his friend Heckle is no better. He's sitting there nodding his head like, "Well, yeah, she shouldn't have made him look bad." The man's a stalker. He's stalking this woman. She's trying to warn other women to be aware of this man who is, yes, he's sending them money, but he's also demanding that they meet and that he marry them. Anyway, go to Duke the Don, y'all. I'm going to tag his channel, and that way you guys can see it. So, anyhow, next up, if you haven't heard about this woman, you should go check out this woman. Now, this woman she's the mayor of a town called Dalton, Illinois. It's a suburb of Chicago. Her first name is Tiffany. I think her last name is Hendrick. Well, she was elected, and she's a fairly young lady. She was elected first black female mayor of this particular town. Not only is she the mayor, but when she was elected, she also became the township of Thornton. She became like I'm trying to describe what it's like. She's like the village. What do they call it now? It's not the mayor of the village, but she's like the supervisor. I think that's what it's called, the village supervisor. So she basically got 2 jobs. She's getting paid over $250,000 between the 2 jobs. That's a lot for a small town of 20,000 people. Not only is she getting paid that much money, which is a lot, she's also apparently, allegedly, been spending money, the taxpayer money, for personal items, and the Board of Trustees has been locked out of the accounting system for over a month now. So they have no idea what she's spending this money on. She got upset because she bought a truck for $150,000. Yes, I said it, $150,000. She bought this truck, signed a lease, and when one of the trustees brought it up, first she tried to deny it and say, I never signed it. And then the trustee pulled out the lease agreement with her signature on it. So they have been locked out of the accounting system for this town for over a month. It's like 2 months now. As of September, according to the Board of Trustees, and I'm going to tag their channel as well, according to them, the last financial report they were able to get was for September. The town was in a $2 million deficit. They have estimated that the town is probably now in a $7 million deficit. They're calling her Teflon Tiff because they did try to do a recall and get her out of office, but there was some legal technicality, and they went to court, and unfortunately, excuse me while all hail Captain Picard, by the way. Unfortunately, with some technicality, they went to court, and the recall was rejected by the judge. So she's still in there. They're stuck with her. So, at one point, Teflon Tiff came into, I think it was one of the last true trustee board meetings. She walked in dressed as Nino Brown from New Jack City. And that's the picture that I'm going to have on the thumbnail. But, yeah. She walked into the meeting dressed as Nino Brown from New Jack City. My question is, does she really and truly understand what happened to Nino Brown at the end of that movie? Just saying. You know, you might be bringing your own karma. Just a thought. Anyhow, Pink Book Lessons and Hannibal is Hungry. I'm going to tag their channels as well. They have been talking extensively about this young lady, and Pocket Watching with JT also featured this young lady as well. She's definitely, allegedly she's stealing from the town. And there's only 20,000 people in this town. How much taxpayer money can you possibly dip into? The trustees have no idea what she's spending money on. It's gotten to the point that when there is some kind of a meeting and the citizens show up, If they start asking questions that she doesn't like, the police department will snatch the microphone from the person and put them out of the meeting. From what they're saying, and again, go to Pink Book Lessons and Hannibal is Hungry. Apparently, she has the police chief is in her pocket, so to speak. So anything she says, he does. And then the last thing I saw, she had hired someone to be her right hand. And when a citizen was speaking up at a meeting, this person the citizen was an older person, and this woman turned around and basically said, you need to stop talking. You need to show respect to the mayor. No, the mayor needs to respect the taxpayers that she's dipping into the coffers from. And at one point, she even sent out $500 tickets for various alleged violations, parking, I guess, and other violations, and told people if they didn't pay it by a certain time on a certain day, that was going to double to $1,000 fine. Again, town to 20,000 people, and it's not a wealthy town. So the saga of Teflon Tiff is something that we should definitely follow as a cautionary tale about our elected officials. I mean, we in New York think Eric Adams is a bad mayor, and he's not the best, just my personal opinion. But Teflon Tiff is definitely one to watch. There is a rumor going around. I don't know how true it is. Again, check out Pink Book Lessons and Hannibal is Hungry. There is a rumor that the FBI has now perked up its head because there's so much money involved, that they are now looking into Teflon Tiff. So, yeah. I mean, talk about dipping. And the sad thing is, when she was a trustee. Teflon Tiff was actually a trustee, and she was calling out the previous mayor regarding the same thing that she's now doing. Yeah, but again, check out Pink Book Lessons. I will tag them in the description, and Hannibal is Hungry, because they have quite a few videos on this. And the trustees of Dalton, also the ones that have been locked out, also have their own YouTube channel. So I will try to find that and tag them as well, so you guys can actually go and see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a mess, y'all. I feel bad for the people in that town. I really do. And then third up, and I'm probably going to do a follow-up on this because it's getting interesting. Larry Reid, the famous or infamous, depending on how you look at it, he held a celebration of life for this gentleman, Bishop Carlton Pearson, who passed away a few weeks ago. Honestly, I didn't know anything about Bishop Carlton Pearson. I'm still looking into what exactly this man was about. But the paraphrase version is that Bishop Carlton Pearson believed, he had a philosophy of what's called the gospel of inclusion. Now, some people think, it's a good thing and that it's a progression that the church needs to make. And some traditional churches feel that Bishop Pearson turned into a heretic, basically, and that the gospel of inclusion should not be considered at all. So when the man passed away, it was, I was, following it kinda, and I noticed that there were some people who was, oh, he was a good guy, and we have to think about this gospel of inclusion. There's something we should consider. Da 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 da. And then there were folks who were posting really mean messages, posting really mean responses. He was a heretic, and he's definitely he definitely didn't go to heaven, and this, that, and the other thing, and he was he lost favor with God, and I'm like, whoa, why y'all speaking so evil about this person? So I'm still looking into it. I'm still, checking to see what's what about Bishop Pearson. So I probably will do a follow-up. But Larry Reid actually had a bedside meeting, I guess, with Bishop Pearson before he passed. And another Archbishop, oh shoot, the name, chemo brain. Oh. Jordan, Archbishop, I think he's an Archbishop. Jordan had a meeting and they recorded it. And Bishop Pearson gave his wishes for his send-off, I guess. So the church he originally belonged to had their funeral. And certain people did not attend the funeral because they agreed with his gospel of inclusion, and the church he originally was from does not, so certain people did not attend. Hold on a second. Certain people did not attend, and there was this whole back and forth, because Larry Reid and his friends were putting together this send-off, which was last week, this past Monday, actually, the 18th. And, so there was this back and forth, and there are some pastors online saying that, they're heretics and they go to hell, and the only gospel is the one that's in the Bible, blah, blah, blah. There's this holy war, so to speak, between those who accept Bishop Pearson's philosophy and those who do not. So, anyhow, there was this big hoopla, hoop-de-doo. And then the night of the send-off, Larry Reid send-off comes. And I did watch it. I am a member of his Patreon, so I did watch it as much as I could. It started at 5 o'clock Eastern. I went to bed at 9:30, and they were just taking up collection. The last thing I saw before I went to bed, Archbishop Jordan was asking people, they wanted 30 people to put $9,000 in an envelope. That's what they were looking for. I heard later, and I'll talk about where I heard this in a minute. I heard later that they lowered it to 5,000. I don't know how much they actually ended up collecting, and it kind of doesn't matter at this point, but the event was technically free. You had to register, you had to go to a website and sign up for a ticket to get in. But in order to see it online, you had to be a Patreon member, because actually the Patreon money paid most of the expenses for the event, or so they said. I'm not going to talk about somebody's money because hey, I don't know. I don't know the man from a can of paint. Maybe the Patreon paid it off, maybe not. But they were supposed to end at 8 o'clock. And I went to bed at 9:30, and they were just taking up collection. So there were additional expenses. The hotel was charging by the hour the longer they stayed in that ballroom. So, yeah. But I mean, the music was nice. The choir, well, they claiming that they had about 100 and some odd people for the choir, but it wasn't even 100 people in the choir. Maybe 75 voices. But they did their best. It was good. I'm not hating. The music was good. I love. Oh, Pastor Shirley Caesar was great. She's great. And the music was, the music was good. I didn't see it. I didn't see it till the very end, so I don't know who closed out the show. I think it was John P. Key. I don't know. Um, but they did the best that they could. The band wasn't bad either. The music part was okay. So it wasn't a bad event. It really wasn't. It's just interesting how this has turned into a bit of a holy war. And I'm going to do a follow up on this because, like I said, I'm still trying to learn a little bit more about this gospel of inclusion and why the traditional church is just hating. I mean, hating the man dead and they still hating. So, but I discovered Larry Reid. Larry has a competitor, I guess, for lack of a better word. And his name is St. James. The Church of St. James. He calls himself St. James. And I'm not sure if he's like a former gospel artist. He can sing. He sings a little bit on some of his episodes. I'm like, ooh, he can sing. I'm assuming that he was a church person because he seems that to be that way, but he's kind of roasting. He was roasting Larry Reid, low key roasting him. The night of the event, he was watching the event and commenting on the event at the same time, and I have to admit it was pretty funny because you can hear him say, "Hold on a second, what are they talking about now?" Like he's watching the event and then he's talking about what's going on without showing anything. And I said, "Ooh, he's right up my alley." Talking about stuff and not showing any clips. I said, "Ooh, that was slick." So I kind of like this St. James person. He's one to watch. He's one to watch. Mm. Oh, sorry, I almost choked on my tea. But the St. James guy is definitely one to watch. He's like he's the flip version of Larry Reid. And so last night he was talking about this whole TD Jakes and Diddy thing going on, and I'm not gonna really get into that. I'm gonna let the big guys talk about that. I'm just a little YouTuber. But yeah, there's this whole big thing about TD Jakes and P Diddy and why TD Jakes is going to these parties knowing that some of these people are just not of the kingdom. And he finally Bishop Jakes finally put out a response through his PR people the other day. Larry Reid talked about it yesterday as well. And St. James talked about it. I have to finish watching it, so I don't want to get into it too much. But St. James is one to keep an eye on. And the saga with Carlton Pearson and Larry Reid and all that stuff, that's another thing to keep an eye out on, especially on these YouTube streets. So, trying to think what else. Well, anyhow, I think that's enough of a tease for everybody for now. I hope to be off topic. I hope to be back with Beat in Chat soon. Two of my fingers on my left hand are no longer numb, so I'm hoping this is a sign that the neuropathy is starting to go away. I was able to sleep in regular socks last night with the help of gabapentin. And I'm still in my regular socks now. I have not switched up to the compression socks, so my feet are still numb. It is what it is. My left hand is slowly starting to recover. So I'm hoping to be back and being in chat. I wanted to be back before Christmas, but it just wasn't happening. But I am on the road to recovery. I have one more consult I have to do, possibly one more procedure. I might have to do the maintenance chemo. They're kind of back and forth about that. I guess once I talk to the other specialist, then I guess there'll be a final decision. But anyway, yeah, so I appreciate y'all watching. Likes are free. You can share if you are so inclined. I will do another update once I finish watching the St. James thing. I might talk about him a little bit. And yeah, man, these YouTube streets, you sometimes you just have to duck behind a car and hope for the best. These folks are just, especially these church folks. The church folks seem to be the most they seem to be the most, I don't, not violent, but they're the loudest of the bunch. They really just go off. It's crazy, y'all. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep traveling these YouTube streets and keep looking and seeing what's interesting, and I will let you guys know. But again, visit Duke the Don for the Fresh and Fit Heckle and Jeckle foolishness, Pink Book lessons, and Hannibal is Hungry for Teflon Tiff. Man, when she goes down, she's gonna go down bad. Why you dressed like Nino Brown in New Jack City? Why you gonna bring that karma onto yourself? Like I said, I don't know if she ever really watched the movie. But somebody's gonna get fed up. Nino Brown in the movie. For those of you who have not seen New Jack City, in the movie, Nino Brown gets his from a senior citizen who is fed up. And that town of Dalton got a lot of senior citizens in it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So dressing up as Nino Brown is not necessarily, you're not inviting good karma. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the next one. It is Saturday the 22nd, 23rd. Oh Lord, it's Saturday, December 23rd, y'all. I hope whoever of us celebrate Christmas and all that, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, wonderful New Year. 2024 has got to be better than this one, because this year was rough. And like I said, likes are free. Comments and questions are always welcome. Please check out the channels that I mentioned, either in the pinned comment or in the description, and please visit them as well. Let them know that you found them from little old me, the YouTube street guide, and I will see you all on the next one. Enjoy your day, enjoy your holidays, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.